A long time since that game the other night, because I guess every minute you've gone through everything and where you are. Now you had a judgment of it. I know you got beat 4-1, but any positives?
Not really. First 30 minutes, first 35 minutes. You know, they come into the game towards the end of the half, but nothing. Obviously, had a penalty for we got pulled out of shape. Kind of Mays exposed us. They played literally a ball over the top, and Billy's done a great block. That happened both in the last 10 minutes of the half, 15 minutes of the half. But the first 30 minutes we were by far the better team, like the Street said. So they were the positives, and then after that it went downhill and quickly.
No doubt about it, it's been a season of setbacks, hasn't it? You know, you're going into the final run-in now. Just on a personal, how do you cope?
I think you've just got to keep working hard. I think you just got to keep working hard and obviously believe. That goes without saying, I think. Believe you're good enough. And try and continue to inspire others to want to achieve more than what they are doing at that present time. Whether that be doing well, you've got to do even better, or not doing well, and you've definitely got to do better. So I think you've got to just continue to work as hard as what you did. When you first got the job. I can remember a time that was probably just as bleak as what we're in at the minute, and we're in League Two. And that was tough. So, I'm not sure I don't particularly want to be in this position, but we've made sure we've turned the corner before. We've got to make sure we turn it again.
I know you've used that saying many times when we've interviewed you about pressure's only for tyres, but you again, where you are now, with whatever games there are left, 16 games left for you, is the pressure mounting a little bit more and more by the game with your team not winning?
It depends what you define as pressure. Like I say, I'm not trying to absolve responsibility with a comment like that. That's not the point. I'm just saying you can. I spoke to the boys this morning about imposter syndrome, and the fact that some of them, I think, don't know, I'm not inside their heads, but some of them, I think, thought it was inevitable. Well, that's what it sounded to me, and that can't be the case. So, when you talk about pressure, you can make that whatever you want to make it. I think some pressure is good. Too much pressure equals stress, and things break. So I'm not sure that is good. So you've got to get that balance right, and the players have got to understand that. I think as a manager that goes without saying. You live under constant stress and strain and pressure. You do. That's part of the job. And I understand that. So I think you've just got to, again, you've got to maintain your belief and your ways that in the process that we're in, that we'll get to where we need to be.
Just going to talk about the goalkeepers, because you spoke many times about your two goalkeepers, and where you've said they're both capable goalkeepers, and they're both probably nothing to choose between either of them whoever you pick. Both of them at the moment just having a bit of a torrid time, aren't they, in terms of form might have gone. How do you try and work with that? How do you try and solve it? Because goalkeepers make mistakes, usually goal.
Yeah, I think I trusted Trigger to play against Rotherham when he was in the middle of a bit of a personal issue with the bereavement. That's why I didn't play at Gillingham, and I probably should have put him straight back in, and I didn't. You sort of you trust your players, and quite rightly as well. If I look back, I'd have made the opposite call. I wouldn't have played against Rotherham, I'd have played against Gillingham, because it was done and dusted by then. although his mind might have still been on it, which would probably be understandable. But you know, and then obviously you've got to take all them things into consideration. Fans don't understand about that. They probably don't even know. Probably shouldn't have said anything. But that's the reasons. And you know, Will's come in. Saves, you know, does well at Gillingham. Saves a penalty, and then didn't have a cover himself in glory. It can happen to anyone, but you know, it was pretty epic. So we've got to, you know, we've got to make sure that whoever plays, whether it's goalkeepers, centre forwards, defenders, whoever, performs to their level. Because that's what's going to get us out of this.
Up until transfer deadline day, you were employing that 3-5-2 system. You've gone back now to what you had a lot of success with when you had those players who are now playing in the Championship, back to 4-3-3. Any particular reason why you went that way, and what does it bring?
Yeah, there's reasons, but they'll remain private.
So, in your system type of thing, do you think you've still got those players that can occupy both systems? What I'm trying to say, can you do it again, or if you want to change you're confident to do that?
I think most players can play in most systems. Can they play them well? And that's a different kettle of fish. You know, we've got to make sure that whatever system and whatever personnel we choose go out there and understand what their job is and what their role is within that system. And hopefully that'll, you know, like I said, that'll stand us in good stead.
So you've got quite a lengthy injury list as well. So you just bring us up to date. I think Mikel Landron, we talked to you earlier in the week, was going for his scan. Doesn't look too good news what we're hearing. What can you tell us on that?
I spoke to him and I said, you know, I got a question in the press conference, you know, and all that. He said, I never thought. I said, well, you're going to see the specialist today. Yeah. Well, yeah. And actually it's better news than what we thought. A lot better news than what we thought. So, Mika, just being the nice, honest guy that he is, you know, jumped the gun and wanted to let all his fans know. But he probably gave him a bit of duff information, so we'll expect to see him back sooner rather than later. You've
got a few more, haven't you? Scott Casket, Ben Knight have been missing, Rio Adebisi been missing. Is there any brighter news? Are they getting close, or is it still, you know,
they're all in boots still. So when they're injured, they're injured. Speak to them and all the shit, but they've got to concentrate on that. And when they start to return to fitness, I'm sure I'll get to know about it.
Well, fingers crossed. You're preparing and building up to Accrington. We all know, and we talked many times on interviews about what Accrington do, and what they do is they cope well in League One, don't they? You don't have to have mega millions. No. If you're organised and do it right, you can cope in League One.
Yeah. Well, listen, John and Jimmy there have been excellent. They're obviously a good fit. They tried Rochdale for a very short period, but they understood that Accrington's their club and they're a great fit, and they do ever so well with it. And they're always competitive, they're always hard to beat, and we've got to make sure that we match all that. Because if we do, then, you know, we gave Plymouth a right good goal for half an hour, but football games aren't half an hour, 35 minutes, they're longer than that, and we've got to make sure if we play like that, we'll get stuff out of the game. If we don't, then you saw what happened.
Well, after all what was said with yourself, your staff and your players after Tuesday night, you're pretty sure you'll get that response and they'll go and do it.
Yeah. They haven't got a choice. Because if they don't, then they'll get found out again. And they'll look foolish. We'll all look foolish. That's the nature of the game, is you've got to make sure you're as fit, if not fitter than the opposition. And if you are, then, you know, run with them. And then make your ability count.